I know I'm extremely late on this, but I haven't had the time to talk about it, and I still want to give my opinion on it, so here it is. Now that the remake exists, leaks have been coming out left and right, up and down, from everywhere. Ex-employees, my friend is a source in the localization department, etc. So as with any rumors, take everything I say here with a grain of salt. I'm going to read the post in its entirety and give my opinion as I go, so it'll be more of a hot take. I'll be talking about both of the recent Reddit rumors that have been gaining traction. The first one is the older leak from about a week ago, which reads, and I quote, I'm going to quote the whole thing. Okay, so I'll post it in this topic. To be clear, this is not an individual that I am close with, just a casual acquaintance that I attended high school with and share a similar taste in games with. So he is involved in game journalism, with the majority of his content being Japanese games. He shared details with me about the trailer 3 to 4 hours before it dropped and was 100% accurate beat for beat. I mention this information just to share why I'm even given this time day. Please understand that I cannot verify this information. I cannot claim it is 100% correct. The same individual also thought we would get information in March, April, but we did not. So either his sourcing is inconsistent, or he has located a new source in Japan that is much more in the know. Again, understand that this is all a rumor until proven correct. I am not endorsing this as fact. That said, I will now list the information given to me, and some may be considered spoilers for those who not play the original. Now, here's my opinion on this. I'm glad that this guy started this by saying it might be BS. So that's how you start a better leak. You give a grain of salt. You make us believe that you don't know whether it's real or not, or if your friend, a quote-unquote friend, is BSing you. But let's get into the actual reveals. VII Remake is going to have a huge presence at E3. When people say information blowout, this will be the definition of it. He says to expect a pretty lengthy trailer that will incorporate gameplay and story. There will be a gameplay demonstration as well. We will also get a release date, not a window, but a date. Early November 2019. He would not give me a hard day, but now this is all stuff we could have theorized ourselves, to be honest. This guy's really trying to cover his ass, but he's right. This is all things we could assume so far. He also gave us some information about how the game would be split. He claims it will be split into 2 parts. Part 1 will end with the death of Aerith. The wait between Part 1 and 2 will be not very long in comparison to the initial wait. So like what, from announcement to release? Of course not. The game will have expanded plot points and locations with tweaks here and there, but the overall narrative will feel familiar to fans of the original. This is fine. The main part of this, the 2-game split, I hope this is true. If they're still doing the episodic thing, 2 games is fine. It could be so much worse. So please, Square Enix, let this be true for this alone, because 2 games with maybe like a 1-year wait between is okay, and also the death of Aerith is the perfect spot to split it if they are going to go that route. So I'm on board for this one. Also tells me that towns and cities will feel much more real and organic. Real roads present and feel like they serve realistic functions. A world that feels living. I don't know what that means. Each location feels unique and feels like it exists for a reason. It makes sense that people put up shop there once upon a time when people were settling in Gaia. Once again, this is something we all could have theorized on our own. Of course, it's going to be expanded world. We assume this. Yuffie and Vincent will be much more organically tied into the story. Said that even though Yuffie is a mandatory character, the window that you obtain her is optional, so you can get her early, basically. Can range anywhere from Junin region to Rocket Town. She is obtained via side quest early, but automatically triggered event later if you don't have her in tow. I think we all figured the 2 were going to be mandatory since they've been included in just about every FF7 related thing since the OG game, but I find the Yuffie stuff interesting if real, and I'm not sure how hard that would be to program something like that into a game. It honestly wouldn't be hard at all. This makes sense. Once again, this is all stuff so far we could have probably guessed on our own, but if true, hey, I'm cool with it. Vinny and Yuffie should be in the story more because they're 2 of the most popular characters in the game. Jenova will still be expanded on, but they're going to keep her origins a bit mysterious. She's going to be frightening with this new tech. I'm going to just combine the next part. Also mention that Sephiroth, seen from the teaser, is from the Nibelheim flashback in Calm. Points to the fact that you can see the road lines to prove that it is not in a reactor like some fan speculation has been. So, Jenova will be expanded on with new tech. So we're getting Cyber Jenova? What does this mean? I don't know. This just sounds kind of fanfiction-y. And the bit with Sephiroth in the Calm flashback, that's one possible theory. I prefer to believe that they're probably showing Cloud's hallucination, so if that ends up being the case, this will be disproven immediately. He also gave you some information on gameplay mechanics. Limits will be familiar, but different. For example, the characters will retain the ability to use all the limit breaks from the OG, but they will serve in different functions. For characters that had the full tree of 7 limit breaks, their first limit break will the first limit break of that level will be a special attack as a one that you can use from the command menu anytime freely, hence bravery in the shortcut menu, but cross slash will be used as a limit break in the conventional sense. Bar fills up, attack is used, bar depletes after you select. Flat level 1, Braver, special attack from menu, cross slash limit break, etc. Blade beam, and then Clim Hazard in the same way. He also states that magic and summon materia will be very familiar in their use. Attaching them allows for those options to show up in the command menu, but you want to strategically attach materia as the characters will be a little less like blank slates than they were in the original game. They will have their niches in combat and constantly utilize them all will be beneficial for players. Trying to spam just one character will not get you very far in the game. You won't want to load your CQC guys which have magics and weaken their attack and HP stats since they have to be up close to the enemies for melee attacks, whereas characters like Vincent and Barrett could shoulder a little more since they do not have to be up close and personal. This is all, in my opinion, things we still could have surmised. Like, materia was expanded upon a lot in Crisis Core alone, stats were attached, things like that. Like, it matters what you do. So I imagine it'll be a little bit more strategic, like you'll want to use further away characters with the further away magic, while close range characters get close range magic. It just makes sense. So I can't disprove it, but it makes sense, and I'm fine with it. And the limit break thing, also, once again, this could have been guessed just by looking at the menu. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We're still trying to figure out. This is the information I was given. Again, a lot of it is stuff we could come up with if we sat and thought long enough, but I don't know what this individual would have to gain by making it up. He could have a bad source, he could have a good one as he was right about the teaser, who knows, please do not take this as gospel. So this is this guy, once again, covering his ass. He's like, this is probably bullshit, but who knows. My opinion on it, the only thing that I care about, the only piece of information from this leak, quote-unquote leak, that I care about is this game is split into 2 parts, with the split being at Aerith's death. That is the perfect spot to split it. 2 games is not too much. Please, let that one be real. Moving on to the other leak, though, from a supposed ex or even current Square Enix employee. This one's more of a straight info dump from someone from the El Segundo Square Enix branch in California. So this, as I'm going to keep quoting, this will not have all the information as this is a publishing localization branch, and as the source in Shibuya who works on Shinjuku Division 1 will have the most info, but we'll share what there is. This is for part 1 in no particular order. Game is in fact in 2 parts. Part 1 ends exactly as Aerith is let down into the water and after her death and a fade to black. Lines up with the other one. Materia is shown in almost all weapons. They do not appear in accessories, nor do accessories appear on your character model. Different weapons will, however, appear on your model. For example, the Rune Blade will be on Cloud's back if equipped and exploring. Different weapons have different triangle heavy hits that does not cost an APB gauge. Buster Sword has Punisher, Rune Blade, for example, has Cleave. You can use these heavy hits after a string of regular hits. Regular hits are chip damage and the main damage will be from the heavy combo finishers, and of course the massive limit break. Magic will consume ATB along with MP. You get more bars as the game progresses. This sounds a lot like Final Fantasy XIII actually. Summons will work for the most part as cutscenes like in the original. I'm happy about this. I like the cinematic flair. They do not fight with you on the field. There is one new summon, Amarok, and appears to be a wolf and causes darkness damage in addition to regular damage. Or darkness in addition to regular damage, excuse me. That's cool, one new summon, that's fine. Overworld map is almost seamless. There are some zones, there will be roads and methods of transportation. It is open world. Vehicles like the Tiny Bronco work in almost the exact same way, being able to only go on lighter water. There will be items available occasionally on the field. Chocobos will of course be obtainable after the farm. They have really made an effort to make each town feel lived in, and feel like there is a reason why each place is like the way it is. Each town is very unique from the last. Cosmo Canyon and its occasional dust storms are a stark contrast to the streets of Midgar. Upper Junon feels much more military installation than Midgar as well. This was true in the original game, so that's fine. Sephiroth is very limited in what is shown of him until the Calm flashback. Before this you only hear his voice or see glimpses of him during Cloud's breakdowns. That's fine, that's expected. The HP shown during the state of play is not indicative of what their HP should be or would be normally during these times, simply for Dev Showcase. There will be demos on the game floor, with the PSN demo following shortly after for people at home, directly after E3. If true, this would be awesome. I am not counting on this happening. I don't think it's going to happen. Given Square Enix's track record though, when they're trying to promote something and they really want people to buy it, like they did with FF15, It's a chance. I'd love it. That'd be cool. So, hopefully. Monster redesigns for a lot of the enemies, but most will remain recognizable. Some do not make an appearance. For example, there was no ghost enemies in the train yard. That kind of sucks, if that's the case. The design for Tifa is also true to the original outfit. Her face appears similar to Advent Children design, but slightly more Western. Material also shows up on her gloves. Now, by Western, I assume there's a cowboy hat involved. There's got to be a cowboy hat involved. This is Tifa. Kate Sith seems to be pronounced Ket Sith, but has undergone no major design overhaul. His fighting style is more close up, and he does have his bars for limit break. The Golden Saucer will have some games that are not playable yet because they're essentially replaying a part of a later story mission. That's how it already was. Some will be playable right when you arrive. They want to feel more grand and provide a break from the main story beats while still eventually having to incorporate into the story later. Fine, it's pretty much how it normally is though. Red 13 has clones, Cobalt 14 and Indigo 15 you must fight before he joins your party in the Shinra HQ. That's nothing major. They could always add more to that, so it's fine, I guess. Sid does not appear to be smoking, but you see evidence that he does. He's clearly upset with Shara, but toned down the aggressiveness as they felt it was unnecessary. What? Sid's not an abusive husband anymore? Worst game ever. It's over. I'm done. Fuck, done. Okay, I'm kidding. Yuffie and Vincent are no longer optional. You can miss them up until a certain point where they become a mandatory to get. You automatically get Yuffie if you have not gotten to her before Rocket Town, for example. Now, this was regurgitated from the other leak, so I think that this guy read the first leak and made some other BS up after that, because I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. But yeah, that still lines up. It's fine. If these are both actually different people, like non-cahoots, we might have an actual leak on our hands. But like I said, a lot of this is still stuff we can totally guess, so I don't know yet. Okay, moving on though. So Cloud will have a dress and wig in one particular scene, but it's a fade to black getting in and out. Of course, we're not going to watch Cloud change into the wig and dress. For real? People thought we were going to see that? The Honeybee Inn requires Gil to get into instead of membership card. That makes no difference in the context of the game. That's fine. The squatting minigame returns. It was funny, so it's fine. As these are full price games, they will in fact be $59.99 US. That's fine. It's fully expected. And signals have gone out to retailers to prepare for pre-orders. They can already take pre-orders. Nothing has changed here. Alright guys, let me give you my opinion on this leak real quick. I truly believe that some dude guessed a bunch of shit that is very likely to be somewhat accurate, but at the same time, there's a couple things on here that repeat, so it's entirely possible that these are related leaks. Like, you know, one guy read one to get to the other, but we'll see. I don't want to believe it's that simple. But if all this stuff is true, there's a couple things I like, but mainly the two-part thing. That is the main thing I want to be true. I hope that's true so bad. But guys, this is Tom here. We got leaks. Hype train is rolling. So is the ghost train. We got to suplex the ghost train. Guys, suplex the ghost train, and by that I mean hit the like button if you like this video, if you like the FF7 remake coverage, because I'm going to try and do more. Got some other stuff planned as well, which should be cool. Might take a while, but it's going to be cool. And other than that, guys, this is Tom. I'll see you next time. Subscribe for more, and yeah, till then.